everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here. My name is Nikki, and I use my clairaudient and channeling abilities to help you find the magic within. If you're new here, welcome. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is all about channeled messages in family films. And I had an absolute blast watching these films over the past week. The three films that I watched were Click, Little Giants, and The Mask. So in the next part of this video, you will see three piles. Please meditate on the pile that is speaking to you and go to the timestamps that I provide down below to go directly to your reading from there. Also, within the description on the timestamps, I will put the name of the film. So if the film resonates with you, definitely take that as an indication that there are some messages in there for you. And also, if the title of the film resonates with you, if you haven't seen the film, definitely take that as an indication as well. So meditate, look at the title, or just feel if any of the films resonate with you in general. And also, this is a very general reading, so if any part of a message does not resonate, just know that message isn't for you. Take what resonates and leave what does not. I am so excited to bring these channeled messages to you. Let's jump into the readings. Hey pal number one, welcome to your reading. The family film that contains a channel message for you is the 2006 movie Click, starring Adam Sandler, Kate Beckinsale, and Christopher Walken. The film follows Michael Newman, who is a workaholic, and he does not have time to spend with his family. He's always working late nights to get things done for his boss, and he has become very resentful, and you can see how bitter he is in the film. And then he is given this opportunity by Morty, played by Christopher Walken, who gives him this magical remote control. And the film progresses as Michael learns the secret about this remote control and how it affects not only him as a person, but also the relationships in his life. So I have your pile right here. Let's see what your channeled messages are. First, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And victim. Okay, so with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Spirit is showing me that you are having a string of bad luck right now. It feels like nothing is going right and you're looking for the light at the tunnel. And I feel like what is taking place in your life right now is completely out of your control. But Spirit wants you to know that the wheel always turns. So what you are going through is temporary right now, but Spirit wants you to look at it from a different perspective. What can you learn from the situation that is going on in your life right now? What are the hidden blessings you can take away from it? Because what is happening is to help you build your character and help you become more strong. And you're going to take a lot of wisdom away from this situation. So while it is temporary, Spirit is saying, don't allow yourself to become a victim. Don't look at the situation in your life right now and tell yourself that, why is this happening to me? Spirit wants you to take on the perspective that this is happening for you. So it's very interesting because in the film Click, Spirit is showing me how bitter and resentful Michael Newman was in this film. He wasn't getting where he wanted to be in his job. He was getting resentful. He was wondering when he was going to get promoted. And he was very bitter towards his family and friends because he had basically become a slave to his job. He was more focused on the material world and what that would bring him than focusing on the connections with his loved ones, his amazing support system that he had. So he definitely became a victim of circumstances. He allowed himself to become a victim. And he was operating from the mentality of, why is this happening to me? When actually, everything that happens in the film happens for him. And you ultimately see that by the end of the film. So, what is happening right now? It is temporary. Don't allow yourself to become a victim, and ask yourself what you can learn from what is going on right now, because that will help you shift your perception and help you get more grounded at this time as you are going through this difficult situation. Next, we have the High Priestess in reverse. And completion. Okay, so Spirit is showing me that there is a cycle completing in your life right now, but you are resisting it. You're resisting the change that wants to take place in your life. Because with the High Priestess in reverse, this is all about being disconnected from yourself. So there is a need to connect with your higher self and remember what is truly important to you. What are your values? And this is something that Michael struggles with in the film Click. He gets this amazing remote control. He's able to go back to his past and reflect on his life. And he is also able to fast forward through the moments of his life that he does not like. So anytime he has a fight with his wife, he fast forwards through it. Anytime he has to sit with his family at dinner when he wants to be working to get that promotion at his job, he fast forwards through that. And because he keeps fast forwarding through his life, he really disconnects with himself and his emotions. So definitely connect with yourself and your emotions, because that is what makes you a human being. And it is important to acknowledge all the things that you value, while also taking notice of the people in your life and connecting with them as well, and allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions you need to feel. Because as he's fast forwarding through his life, he basically puts himself on autopilot and he becomes so disconnected and he misses out on a lot in his life. So I'm being called to talk about on the card here, there's this lady and she's visiting a grave. Because he fast forwards through his life, there's a scene where he fast forwards to when he gets promoted and he misses out on an entire year of his life. And in that year, his dog passes away and he didn't allow himself to feel the emotions in that moment because he just completely overshot that difficult moment. So it's important to understand that the difficult moments are part of our lives as well. And it is super important to always stay connected to yourself. Don't become so disconnected with what you truly want, because those things are important. And it is a matter of also not allowing yourself to neglect certain people in your life as well, because the relationships we have with people, they are super important. And this is a hard lesson that Michael has to learn in this film, and it's really heartbreaking to watch. I honestly cannot watch this film without crying. It affects me on a deep level, mostly because I kind of operated from the same wavelength that Michael does in this film. So I think that's why I connected with it so much. But Spirit is saying, go within, connect back with your higher self, and figure out what you truly value. Because in the film, Michael has to come to a hard realization about what he truly valued. Did he value getting promoted and being successful more than he valued spending time with his family? This whole movie is a lesson learned in time, and time is your most valuable resource. So how are you spending your time right now? These are all important questions to ask. And most importantly, Spirit wants you to ask how you feel about the idea of change. What is it that you are resisting, and why are you resisting that? These are all important questions to ask yourself at this time. Next, we have the Emperor in reverse. And workaholic. So yeah, just like Michael is a workaholic in this film, I can see that you are somebody who is a workaholic as well, because we have the workaholic card coming out here. But also at the same time, with the Emperor in reverse, Spirit is showing me that you have a boss who is very controlling and very demanding on your time. Like, I'm seeing very strict deadlines, almost to the point where you are staying up super late, having to get your work done so that it is turned into your boss at a certain time. Like, your boss is really, really strict. I can see that. And sometimes this causes resentment within you because you put in a lot of work, and sometimes I can see it feels like your boss isn't truly valuing you and the work that you are doing. And that is exactly how Michael felt in this film. His boss, Ammer, played by David Hasselhoff in this film, he is always promising a promotion to Michael in this film. And he just kind of beats around the bush with it. There's actually a scene where Michael thinks he has a promotion. He tells his wife, they're celebrating, and then he goes to work the next day and the boss is like, that's not what I said. I said that you are looking to get on the fast track to a promotion. So what does Michael do? He fast forwards to the moment in his life where he is given the promotion, and he misses out on a whole year of his life. He misses the death of his dog, and he has all of these emotions that just come flooding out of him, everything that he wasn't able to feel when he was on autopilot in those moments. So I can see that because of this amazing work ethic that you have all of the resources within you to succeed in anything that you want to succeed in. And you actually have the ability to go off on your own venture if you wanted to. If you wanted to start your own job, you have all of the smarts about you to be able to do that. You have the amazing tools within you to do that, because yes, the work that you have done up to this point, it has served you, and it has also taught you amazing traits and habits that you could take if you wanted to create a business for yourself, to start your own venture. Because the Emperor in reverse also points to the fact that you may be becoming resentful because of this dominating nature of your boss, and you do not deserve to be treated that way. Yes, it's a job, and when you have a job where you are working for someone else, you have to abide by their rules and regulations, but I can see that you're somebody that likes to go to the beat of your own drum. You actually thrive more when you are doing something on your own as opposed to working for someone else. So Spirit wants you to know, if you were thinking about starting your own venture or starting your own business, that it would be successful. And I can see that it would bring you a lot of joy because you wouldn't be tied down to someone else telling you what to do. If that doesn't resonate with you with starting your own business, Spirit wants you to know that it is okay to take a break It is okay to say no to working on the weekends so that you can conserve that energy for yourself, because I can see that your job sometimes has the tendency to drain you, and Spirit wants you to know that it's okay to set boundaries when it comes to your work life and cultivating that time of rest for yourself in the process as well. Seven of Swords. And trickery. So yeah, Spirit is showing me that there is a relationship in your life where there are some secrets or dishonesty taking place. And in the film Click, Michael, he never once tells his wife about the magical remote that he has. It's a secret that he keeps from her. And he uses it to kind of deceive their relationship, and it's all about him and what he wants to do. So Spirit is showing me that there are some secrets or dishonesty, some trickery definitely going on in a certain relationship at this time in your life, and it's causing major disconnection with whoever this person is. It's affecting a relationship in your life. And in the film Click, because he cares more about this remote and what it's able to do for him, he ends up actually losing his wife in the film. And she marries another man, and he misses out on a truly amazing life with her because he's so disconnected and so secretive and so deceptive about that. So this could represent secrets that you may be having right now, or this could also represent secrets that someone in your life is keeping from you, because they are also showing me how Morty, played by Christopher Walken, was not 100% honest with Michael when he gave him the remote. He didn't tell him all of the consequences that would take place from him using the remote. So there was some deception and trickery there as well. If he had known, he probably would not have taken the remote to begin with. So definitely be mindful of secrets, of deception, of dishonesty, and just know that anytime there is trickery or deception of some sort, it usually stems from a fear of rejection. So if somebody feels like they are rejected, it can cause them to close their hearts and not want to put themselves out there because they feel unworthy. So, however, this is playing out in your life with these secrets and this deception, just know that any decision that is made from a place of fear should never determine your future. So, any decision that you are making in your life, ask yourself if you are making it out of fear and how you could make a decision from a place of love instead. Next, we have the Three of Pentacles and Soulmate. So yeah, the Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork and collaboration, and we have the Soulmate card here. So Spirit is showing me that there is a need for more teamwork with your soulmate. So in the film Click, Kate Beckinsale, her name is Donna in the film, she is definitely Michael's soulmate, and she is an amazing person. But you can see that she's doing everything on her own in the house. She is cleaning the house. She is dressing up like Pocahontas to make the kids laugh. She's hosting family reunions and dinners at their home, while Michael is just so focused on his work that he's not really being a teammate to her. So I feel like you are in a relationship right now with a soulmate, And Spirit is saying, how can you come together and create more synergy with one another in order to be more of a team player with your partner? Because that's what happens when we connect with our soulmates. We are meant to be a team with that person. So, what can you do to help your partner more with perhaps some household chores or spending more time with your partner? What can you do to cultivate more teamwork with your soulmate? Because in the film, Kate Beckinsale, Donna, and Michael, their relationship suffers because she feels like she is doing everything on her own, and it leads to her becoming very disconnected from Michael, and she ultimately starts dating someone else. She divorces Michael and she starts dating Bill, played by Sean Astin, and their whole lives change. So definitely create more synergy with your soulmate at this time. And what can you do to be more of a team together? Next, we have the Queen of Pentacles and Wisdom. Okay, so there is someone in your life who represents the Queen of Pentacles, and she has a lot of wisdom. I feel like this could either be your partner or could be a grandmother, because I'm being shown the scene in Click where Michael is giving a speech at his son's marriage, and he's looking around the room and he sees his mother. She is just smiling and beaming at him. Even though he was so disconnected from himself, the people in his life truly loved him, even though he was not being there for them in the way that he should be. And you can just feel her love in that moment when she's looking at him. She's sitting in a chair and she's just smiling at him. And I feel like there's a grandmother, a mother, or your partner, your soulmate, who has this warm, motherly energy, and this person has so much wisdom. If you were to sit down and speak with this person, you would be amazed at the advice that they could give you, because they have gained a lot of experience in their life. They've been through some of the same things that you have, and this person loves you so much. This is such a warm, warm energy. So, this is truly an amazing relationship to have. You're very lucky to have this person in your life. And I can see that you're someone that doesn't always like to ask for help from other people, but this is somebody that you truly admire. And if you were to call them up on the phone and have a conversation, you would see that there is a lot of wisdom that they have to share with you, which you probably have picked up on in your life already, especially if this is a grandma or your mom. If it's your partner, I'm being shown Kate Beckinsale and how warm and loving she is. And this is also a woman who knows her value, knows her self-worth. So she's very connected with herself, and she's somebody that can help you reconnect with yourself as well. Queen of Cups in reverse and expansion. Okay, so the Queen of Cups in reverse is all about being disconnected from your emotions, having trouble controlling your emotions. And I can see with this situation that is transpiring with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse that it's leaving you feeling exposed and vulnerable, because I feel like there was a belief somewhere along your life path where you were told that showing your emotions was a weakness. So there's this situation presenting itself where you feel like your emotions are coming to the forefront, but you don't want to face them. And that is what is disconnecting you from the people in your life and also from yourself. Spirit wants you to know that anytime you feel your emotions, it is the strongest thing that you can do. It's just a matter of not identifying with your emotions. You are not your feelings. You're just a human being who feels them. So you are not defined by your feelings. You just are supposed to feel them because that's part of the human experience. And when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, when you share stories that maybe you have been holding back for a long, long time, perhaps a secret represented from the Seven of Swords, you will find that you connect with others so much more. That's because everybody in the world goes through difficult times. And there has been this conditioning, this belief that we have to, have this perfection and that it's a weakness to show our emotions. That is not true. We connect with one another when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And in the film Click, Michael became so disconnected from the people in his life because he was on autopilot. And then when he would wake up periodically through these transitions in his life, he would learn that, his dog died and also that his father passed away in the film. And in that moment, all the emotions just came up and he felt them in that moment. It was like the moment of realness. And you could see him connecting with the people in his life. They're like, oh, he really does have feelings, And it was truly powerful. Like, this film is so, so powerful. If you have not seen this film, I definitely recommend it. It's also super funny, and I think there's something in this film for everyone, really. But yeah, definitely allow yourself to be vulnerable because that is what is helping you connect to the people in your life even more, and also to yourself, because it is authentic to feel your feelings. It is inauthentic to repress them. And the last message is Five of Pentacles in reverse. Perseverance and rejection. So, yeah, I can see that you have experienced some bouts of rejection in your life, but Spirit is saying to persevere through that, because humans have a tendency to view rejection as an indicator of their self-worth. That is not the case at all. When we are rejected, it is actually serving our highest good because there is something better. Rejection is Spirit's protection. So anytime that you are rejected, persevere through it because there is something better waiting for you. And with the Five of Pentacles here, this is all about being focused on the material world, which Michael, he was always focused on the material world in the film. He fast forwards through his entire life until he is so successful that he missed out on all of the amazing experiences with his family. This movie is truly a indicator of how valuable time is. So how are you utilizing your time right now? Are you making time for your loved ones? Are you making time for yourself? Are you doing all the things that bring you joy and value and love and happiness? Because with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, this is also something that is temporary. You can push through it even quicker when you change how you view rejection. Can you view rejection as a good thing? Because they're also showing me in the film where he doesn't get his promotion and he yells at all the members in his family because he is so mad that he was rejected. He felt rejected. At the very end of the film, I don't want to spoil the film, but he does come into a very big realization that changes the way he views the material world for the rest of his life. So Spirit wants you to get really clear on what you value, how you are spending your time. Connect with your higher self. Don't allow yourself to become a victim of your circumstances. Feel your emotions and connect with those you love, because life is really too short and we are meant to enjoy our time here while we are here. So thank you, pile number 1. Those are your messages. If you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. The family film that contains a channel message for you is the 1994 movie Little Giants, starring Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill. And the film follows 2 brothers, one who is the all-star of the family, who likes to be in the spotlight, has a huge ego, and the younger brother is one who is more conservative and shy and just a little more warm-hearted than the older brother is. Well, the older brother is recruiting young kids to have a football team for their town. And in the beginning of the film, he is having tryouts, and his brother Danny, who was the younger conservative one, his daughter Becky, who they call the Icebox, she is phenomenal at playing football. She can keep up with the boys. But because she is a girl, he does not allow her to be on the team. So she asks her dad to start a football team to bring kids together to truly help them see what they are capable of achieving. It's a very heartwarming film. It is very funny, and there's a lot of amazing messages in it. I have your pile right here. Let's see what your messages are. We have the 4 of Cups, and we have Despondence. Okay, so with the 4 of Cups, Spirit is showing me that while you feel content with your life, there is something within you that is telling you that you are meant for more, because I can feel this energy of boredom around you, this stagnant energy. But Spirit is showing me that you're telling yourself that the way your life is right now is just how things are meant to be. This is all that you will ever achieve in your life. And Spirit wants you to know that that is not true. You are having this inner calling within you for a reason. It's just that in your past, there was an emotional tie, and based on the fact that this is Little Giants, I feel that this is a sibling. I feel that this was like a golden child in the family who you felt like you could never live up to. This person created a belief within you that you would never allow yourself to get to where you want to be. And I don't think they really had ill intentions with this, but they don't realize the belief that it created within you. But Spirit wants you to know that you can break that cycle, that you are just as capable as this person of doing all the things that you want to do. You are here for a reason, and that call within you is beckoning to you for a reason. So I feel like this is a sibling for sure. It doesn't have to be, but Spirit is showing me the scene in the very beginning of Little Giants where Kevin O'Shea and Danny O'Shea, Kevin being the all-star older brother who's always shining, and Danny O'Shea being the conservative younger brother who doesn't feel like he will ever fill his brother's footsteps. They are riding their bikes to the football field, and his brother does not pick him for the team, and you can see how much he really looks up to his brother. He has so much love for his brother, and his older brother loves him too, but he still sees him as someone who is beneath him. And this created a belief within him, with his younger brother, that he was not good enough. Because after his brother doesn't pick him for the football team, he goes off and he sits on a bench and he tells himself that he is on the injured list. And he stays on the injured list for a really long time. But you are not meant to be on the injured list. You are meant to shine. There is something within you beckoning to you. This could be a passion, this could be something creative, this could be something outside of your comfort zone, and it's beckoning to you for you to explore that. This is an opportunity that is presenting itself to you that you're refusing not to look at. And it's because of this belief that has been created from whoever this person was in your past. But other people do not dictate what you are here to do, even if it's a family member. You are responsible for your own life. And Danny O'Shea, he really does prove himself in this film later on. So your next card is King of Cups in reverse. And Perception. So yeah, the King of Cups, this represents an emotional vampire. This person likes to feed off of the energy of other people in order to make themselves feel more powerful. And that was definitely Kevin O'Shea, his character in the film Little Giants, played by Ed O'Neill. He was the all-star football team, and he definitely fed off of the energy of his younger brother, making his brother feel like he was less than he was here to be. And he really did take a lot of his brother's power from him. So whoever this person was in your past, there is an emotional vampire of some sorts who has fed off of your energy for the majority of your life. And with perception here, they created a perception within you where you thought that you were just meant for a content life, where you couldn't break out and also be, that football star or be whatever it was you wanted to be. Because in the film Little Giants, Ed O'Neill, there's one thing he always says to his brother. He's like, I knew you'd see things my way. So basically, he was saying, you need to perceive of the world as I perceive it. So there's this emotional vampire in your life who has been manipulating your perception. So the key is to come back into your heart space and recognize that this person is operating from their own reality. You have your own reality, and you can create whatever you want. You can rewire in new beliefs, and you can change your perception. Because what happens in the film, Danny's daughter is an amazing football player, but when her uncle rejects her from the team, does not select her to be as part of the team, it lights a fire in her, and she's like, you know what? My dad can start a team. And she starts a team without really telling him this, and she tells her uncle this in the film, and he goes to his brother. He's like, what makes you think that you can compete with me, that you can have a team, that the town only needs one team? And he's like, I knew you'd see it my way. And he's triggered in that moment. Danny looks at Ed O'Neill in the film, and he's like, you know what? I don't see things your way. I have never seen things your way. His perception changes, and he becomes the coach of this team, and he brings all of these kids together, no matter what their physical abilities were. And he creates this loving space. He trains them and helps them feel good about themselves, and he steps into the person that he is meant to be. So you can change your perception. You don't have to see things the exact same way that this person wanted you to see. You have the ability to see things from your own vantage point, and you have the power within you to create the life you want for yourself. You are not this person. They created their own reality based off of what they wanted for themselves. You have the ability to do the same for yourself, and you're meant to, because you have that inner calling in there. There's just a need to answer the call. Next, we have the Star and Vanity. So with the Star is all about coming into your self-confidence. I feel like you have come into the awareness of how your perception has been limited in a sense based off of beliefs and stories that you have told yourself throughout the years. But where that stemmed from was giving your power away and really wanting the approval of other people, looking outside of yourself for all of the answers. Because in the film Little Giants, the star represents the icebox, Becky, the girl that can play on the boys' football team, right? And she had a lot of struggles within herself. She questions her ability as to whether or not she can play with the boys and wondering if she should be doing more girly type things. And she goes to her uncle, and he had started a cheerleading squad. So she gets a cheerleading outfit and she starts to become someone that she's not. Because when they get to the final team, she's out there cheerleading. But that's not who she is meant to be. She was being something that she was not. And she was the ultimate star. It was just a matter of recognizing that within herself, which she ultimately does. But you are a star. There are amazing qualities and traits that you can utilize in the world. And these things that are unique about you are what are your superpower. There are so many things about you that make you unique that other people do not have these same qualities. You can use those to your advantage. There's just a need not to put your validation in other people's hands. Validate yourself, because when Becky comes into the knowledge that, I'm a girl, but I can play on a football team with guys, and I'm really good. I can tackle them, and I can create what I want for myself. She exuded into her star-like quality. You have this star-like quality, and it's amazing that this card is upright, because that means you are starting to recognize these things about yourself. You're starting to validate yourself for who you really are. So congratulations for that, and continue to see yourself for the amazing person that you are. Next, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And prayer. Okay, so the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is showing me that you are avoiding doing something. That there is a fear of change. There's some type of resistance here. And in the film Little Giants, when they get to the final game, when they finally are playing the game, the Cowboys versus the Little Giants, during this, at halftime, Little Giants were being defeated. They were losing big time, and they were being very down on themselves. But Danny O'Shea, played by Rick Moranis, he takes them into the locker room, and they're all like, we're on the injured list. And it reminded him of how he told himself that he was on the injured list his entire life. And he goes, you know what? He goes, there was one time I beat my brother when we were racing bikes. And we probably raced over 100 times, 1,000 times down this one path by our house. And he would always beat me, but there was one time I beat him. And that inspirational speech that he gave really lit a fire within these kids, and they started to focus on the good qualities about themselves, about certain times where they overcame challenges, and that fueled them to go out onto the field and do their best and truly believe in themselves. So they were avoiding this second half of the game because they were so far behind, but it wasn't over yet. And Spirit wants you to know that whatever is going on in your life, it ain't over yet, okay? So whatever you are avoiding, take a look at that, and what can you do to truly lift your spirits, because we have prayer here. And prayer can be a metaphor for anything in your life that uplifts you. If you have a prayer practice where you pray to the divine, pray to God, then that is a great way to get valuable insights into your current situation right now. You can pray to help you not avoid this situation. You can pray to help overcome this challenge. Any way that prayer is for you, whether that's also reciting affirmations to yourself, rewiring in new beliefs about how amazing you are. Whatever this situation is, Spirit is saying that it's time to face it, okay? You can no longer avoid this. It's time to face the truth of the situation, and it's time to move forward. So empower yourself and speak uplifting words to yourself, because this is something that you can overcome, just like the kids in this film did. Next, we have the Four of Pentacles and gratitude. Okay, so with the Four of Pentacles here, this is all about someone being content with their job. So I do feel like you are somebody who is financially stable, but Spirit wants you to know that there is so much more abundance available to you in the world that is not just money related. And your bank account is not an indicator of your self-worth. So Spirit wants you to get really, really excited for all of the abundance that is available to you. Be grateful for all of the blessings showing up in your life that want to make their way into your life. And abundance is not just money related, it's also abundance in relationships, abundance with experiences, abundance in the food that we eat. The definition of abundance is not just money. And I'm hearing that they're saying some people are so poor, all they have is money. Okay, so that's recognizing that there is so much to be grateful for in your life right now, and to focus on all the things that add value to you, that bring you joy, those connections that you cultivate with one another. Your bank account does not determine your self-worth. And they are showing me the scene in Little Giants. There was a child on the team named Johnny, and his father never had time for him. He was always off to work. He would never go and watch Johnny practice. And you can see all the times that Johnny's father chose work over him, how sad it left Johnny feeling. At the end of the film, when they are in the final game, he does score a touchdown because his father does make it to the game. The one time he got back just in time to see his son score a touchdown for the Little Giants. And it is a very heartwarming moment because you could see how sad Johnny was throughout the film because his father would always choose work over him. So Spirit is saying to practice gratitude for the people in your life and understand that money is not a determining factor in your success in life, in how your relationships go, and that family is definitely something that always comes first. So practice more gratitude for the wonderful good already in your life, and when you do that, you're shifting your perception, and the universe will bring more love and experiences in that nature to you. We have the Three of Swords in reverse and faith. So yeah, you are definitely healing from a situation in the past that was very hurtful. But the fact that the Three of Swords is in reverse means you have reached a place where you are ready to move on. And Spirit wants you to know that you're doing a wonderful job with healing from this situation, and that healing is a process. So be patient with yourself, because they're showing me someone who is like, when will I just get over this and quit reliving it? Well, Spirit wants you to have more faith, because healing does take time. If it were easy, we would all be doing it within 24 hours all the time. When we are hurt, depending on the situation, it can be something that is deeply rooted, but you are at the place where you are ready to let go and move on. So continue to be patient with yourself and have faith that your healing is working, because it is. And in the film Little Giants, the icebox, Becky, her mother left her and her dad, Danny, and abandoned them. So I feel like whatever it was you went through in your life was something that was as painful as that. Perhaps someone abandoned you when you were younger, or this could also be a love relationship where someone left. I feel like someone left and it was very hurtful. But Spirit wants you to know that by having faith that everything is going to be okay, it will. You are getting through this, and you are at the point where you are ready to let go and move on from this. So congratulate yourself for that, and continue to be patient with your healing process. Take however long you need to heal from this painful situation, and allow yourself to feel any emotions that come up with that, because that is how you get it out, because that pain likes to stay trapped in the body. That's why we reminisce on the past so much, is because we haven't completely let go of all that pain. So do what you can to let go of that pain, feel your emotions, while also knowing your limits and not letting your emotions control you. We also have the Ace of Swords and acceptance. So the Ace of Swords represents the ultimate moment of clarity. So if you have not experienced this yet, you are about to. There's a major breakthrough with the Ace of Swords coming into play, and this has to do with accepting yourself for all that you are, not selling yourself short. Because in the film Little Giants, the icebox, Becky, when she decides to become a cheerleader instead of being true to who she really is, she cheers for half of the game, and then in the second half of the game, one of her teammates is injured by one of the opposing members of the team, and that fuels her fire. And it's just like she remembers, she's like, I am meant to be playing. So she goes into the locker room, she puts on her gear, and she goes into the game to be who she really is. This was that ultimate moment of clarity where she decided to accept herself for who she truly was. And Spirit is showing me that there is this moment of clarity approaching you. You're in the process of getting there now, where you are learning to truly accept yourself for who you truly are. And anything that doesn't resonate with you, it's just like using that sword to cut away everything that no longer serves. Anything that is inauthentic to who you truly are will not thrive. So continue to rise up in your authenticity, and never ever allow anyone to dictate your perception of yourself. Never ever sell yourself short, because you are amazing. And when we are not being true to who we truly are, there will be a feeling of something not feeling right. And that is our best navigation system. So, like, if we are working in a job that does not bring us joy, those feelings are an indicator that there is something better, and we should act on that in any way that we can. We should create a plan for ourselves to find our joy. And I can see you coming into that moment of clarity of who you truly are, accepting yourself for all that you are, and not allowing anyone to ever dictate your perception of yourself ever again. The final message is 9 of Cups. And Quest. So with the Quest card here, this is all about enjoying your journey, understanding that every experience you've had in your life has served a purpose. There was a lesson in it, and it's a matter of taking those lessons and using them for your highest good. Because we have the 9 of Cups. This is the ultimate card of wish fulfillment. So the more true that you are to yourself, the more your wishes will manifest. Because when we are not true to ourselves, we create situations that are out of alignment with who we really are. And we can feel that. Everything is energy. Energy does not lie. So the more you love yourself, the more you have a perception of what you want to create for your life, the more that abundance and wish fulfillment is attracted to you. Because in the film Little Giants, all of these kids on this team, they were all really, really hard on themselves. When they were not picked for the team in the beginning of the film, they thought that they were no good, that they wouldn't amount to anything. And that was quite the opposite. The rejection actually served as protection for something better to happen for them. They got to be part of a team that truly allowed them to value themselves because they had a leader who valued them. But it's important to know that a leader does not create followers. A leader creates more leaders. And I feel on an energetic level that you are a leader and that you are here to create more leaders in the world. And your experience, your journey has all been a part of the process so that you can use that wisdom to help other people. And the more true that you are to yourself, the more your wishes and desires will be fulfilled, and you will experience that out here. So thank you, pile number 2. Those are your messages. If you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, pal number 3, welcome to your reading. The family film that contains a channel message for you is the 1994 movie The Mask, starring Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. The film follows a man named Stanley Ipkiss who is down on his luck. He is not very confident in himself, and everything seems to be going wrong in his life. And then he stumbles upon this mask, and when he puts the mask on, he becomes someone else, and it's a more confident version of himself. And the scenes that transpire after that are really, really funny, and there are some very good messages in this film as well. I have your pile right here. Let's see what your messages are. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and Enlightenment. Okay, so the Ace of Cups in reverse, Spirit is showing me that there are times where you have difficulty controlling your emotions. Spirit is showing me that there are a lot of times where you repress how you really feel out of a fear of conflict. And this is exactly what happens to Stanley Ipkiss in The Mask. He has a very hard time expressing how he feels. And what happens is he bottles it up so much that there are certain times where it just explodes out of him. And he lets a lot of people walk all over him in this film. His boss at work likes to yell at him in front of other people, and he's just, you can see him seething where he wants to express how he feels, but he keeps it bottled inside. And his landlord also yells at him a lot because he's not being quiet enough. And when he gets home, she's like, "You're being too loud." And when she goes back into her room, he then expresses how he feels because she's no longer there. And he's like, "Yeah, I should have said that." So Spirit is showing me that there are two extremes with your emotion. There's the side of you where you repress everything, keep it bottled up, and it festers to the point where you, out of nowhere, have the ability to explode. So there's definitely a need here to get more control over your emotions, because later in the film, when Stanley's boss, he is getting on his tail for the second time in the film, and Stanley just explodes on him, and the boss was not expecting Stanley to stand up to him in that moment, and Stanley gets a glimpse of the true power he has within. He becomes enlightened about how it's important to express your feelings. But you can get to a place where you express them in a loving way, and recognizing that fear around expressing your emotions is an illusion. That is what enlightenment is. Enlightenment is the courage to go into any fears that we have in life. So the one here being fear of expressing yourself and becoming enlightened about your true power when you are able to express yourself in a healthy way, because you won't have the tendency to explode if you are expressing yourself in the present moment as things are happening. It won't be all bottled up. It won't fester to the point where you're just like, So feel your feelings all the time. Express yourself. Speak up, because your opinion matters just as much as everybody else in the world, and you will be enlightened about your authenticity the more that you speak your truth. Next, we have the Knight of Cups and renewal. So the Knight of Cups is someone who is a master of their emotions. He does have the tendency to wear his heart on his sleeve, and the Knight of Cups can also represent either gender here. The Knight of Cups is someone who is in tune with their emotions and who will express adoration for anybody that they love in their life. And I do feel like there is a side of you that represents this Knight of Cups, because we have renewal here. So you, as you learn to master your emotions, will step into this Knight of Cups energy. And the Knight of Cups is someone who is a charmer, who is very loving. And that's exactly what Stanley was in the film The Mask. He learned a lot about himself the further the film went on, and he just needed to understand that his emotions were not a determining factor in his self-worth, because for the majority of the film he was identifying as his feelings, when the truth of the matter is we are human beings who have feelings. We are not our feelings. When we identify as our feelings, that's where issues take place. And when you master your emotions, you're going to step into this amazing renewal on a level that you haven't experienced before, and you will exude this more confident Knight of Cups energy, which I feel the Mask truly taught Stanley in this film. The Mask was the confident version of Stanley, even though it was kind of the overconfident version of Stanley, but it taught Stanley about his true self-worth, and it made him realize who he really wanted to be, where his authenticity lied, what his values were. So continue to master those emotions and experience this renewal. Next, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse and dissipating. So with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, this represents some very greedy people that are around you or who have taken advantage of you in the past. But Spirit is saying the more that you recognize these people for who they are, that energy will dissipate because you won't be giving your power away anymore. So in the film The Mask, Stanley, he takes his car to a garage to be worked on to get an oil change. And when he goes to pick the car up, the two mechanics are like, you need a new transmission. And they were basically taking advantage of Stanley. He didn't need a new transmission. They were just trying to get more money out of him. So Spirit has shown me there have been people in your life or someone around you right now who likes to take advantage of you. So in order to recognize these people for who they are, pay attention to how they're making you feel, pay attention to what they are saying, and then pay attention to the energy around them, because energy does not lie. Ask yourself if the energy matches what they are saying. That will be a good indicator to you as to whether or not they are using you for your money, your time, your resources. And the more the veil comes off in regards to this, that energy will dissipate away because you will not put up with it any longer. So fill up your own cup first and foremost every morning. Do not allow other people to drain your energy, and never ever give from an empty cup, because you can't give what you don't have. So there may be people who are authentic where you give to them and they really do appreciate you. But Spirit is showing me there are some greedy like people around you who don't have your best interests at heart. So be mindful of those people, and the more you fill up your own cup, the more you recognize what you do and don't have to give, that energy will dissipate the more you fill up your own cup in the process. We have Strength in reverse and self-worth. So Strength in reverse here, this is a lack of self-confidence. And Spirit is showing me that sometimes there is a tendency with you where you act on your animal instincts, or you're very reactionary. Like there is just this self-doubt that causes you to do certain things and then not think about the consequences after that. And Spirit is showing me the scene in The Mask where Stanley Ipkiss, he puts on the mask and he becomes this overconfident version of himself. It's the extreme opposite of who he was before he put it on. And he goes out into the world, he robs a bank, he goes after the women that he wants, he thinks he is the cat's meow, okay? And they're showing me the scene where he is specifically like, you know, kid, you are real good, but as long as I'm around, you'll only be second best, you see? Like, they're showing me his ego, how much the mask was in his ego self, and how he didn't have a knack for caring about what other people thought. Now, that's a good place to get to, not caring about what other people think, but also being mindful of the consequences of your actions. Because we have Stanley Ipkiss and we have the version of him who is the mask. Two completely different ends of the spectrum, where Stanley represses his feelings and sometimes explodes his feelings at certain moments in time. And then we have the mask who is overconfident, living in his ego self, and like doesn't really take into account how what he is doing is affecting others. So there's a need to bring a happy medium there and truly find your authentic self-worth. You are not defined by how other people see you. You are not defined by your bank account. You are not defined by people who put you down, what other people perceive of you. You are not defined by limitations. You can rise above all of that. And it stems from controlling your emotions, practicing true self-love within yourself, being a confident version of yourself, responding to situations instead of reacting, understand that everything happens for you and not to you, and also speaking your truth. I just had like a blockage in my throat there. So don't be afraid to speak up and speak your truth, because your opinions are valuable and you deserve to be seen and heard. So let people see and hear you, because there is a version within yourself that is wanting to emerge, just wanting to experience life in all of its glory. And that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to have experiences here and enjoy everything in life. And everything that has happened to you up until this moment has served a purpose, and there is a lesson in everything. The question is, have you learned the lesson? And by cultivating your self-worth for yourself, you will figure out what your true values are, what you find is important to you, and learning to find your joy in every moment, regardless of what other people think. Next, we have the Magician and forgiveness. So the Magician brings with it a very manipulative type of energy. In this reading is what I'm feeling. And this is representing those people or person who has that greedy energy, who took advantage of you in some sense. And Spirit wants you to practice forgiveness, not only towards these people that have hurt you, but also for yourself, for not having the knowledge at the time to understand what was happening. Don't be so hard on yourself. You had a lesson to learn from this situation, and it has brought you out more wise. Because you have went through those situations, you are more apt to not let other people manipulate you the way that this certain person did. And in the film The Mask, Spirit is showing me the red-headed journalist named Peggy. She received a letter from Stanley in the film where he was the ultimate nice guy, and she published his story. And you think that they're having a moment, you think that they are connecting, and later in the film, you come to find out that she's not really helping him. She actually hands him over to the bad guys, and they pay her $50,000. So she didn't care that she handed him over to the bad guys because she was greedy in the sense that she knew she was getting $50,000. So Spirit has definitely shown me there's someone or some people in your past or present right now who have done those types of things to you. But if you can get to the place where you can forgive them for what they've done, forgive yourself for not knowing better at that time, you will have the upper hand. And just know that karma is real. What we put out into the world always comes back to us. And the moment you take your power back, that's where the karmic cycle will shift, and these people will get their karma for what they have done. That's just how the laws of the universe works. Next, we have the Hermit in reverse and instinct. So with the Hermit in reverse, this represents feelings of loneliness and wanting to withdraw from the world. So I feel like there have been many nights where you have been in this energy. And as difficult as that is, Spirit is saying when those moments happen, to take that time to really go within, to connect with your higher self, because this is a time specifically for you to remember who you are, to remember how strong you really are, and to reflect on moments in your past that may be creating cycles in your life. And in order to break these cycles, you have to do something you've never done before, because the cycle keeps repeating because there's this routine. It's like your life is telling you, we know what you're going to do. This is why it keeps repeating. But once you do something you have never done, that is when the cycle breaks. So if this is a cycle of loneliness, then you have to put yourself out there, because the cycle of loneliness is repeating because you are allowing it to continue. So it's important to connect with yourself, figure out ways of how you can break out of that loneliness, put yourself out there, meet like-minded people who resonate with things that you enjoy, and trust your instincts, because this is all about listening to your intuition and what is best for you. So how can you break that cycle and put yourself out there? But at the same time, learning more about yourself and connecting with your intuition. So if you need that time to reflect and go within, utilize that time to do so, because you'll learn more about yourself in the process. You will learn about cycles in your life, and you can break those cycles by doing something you have never done before. So listen to your instincts and continue to meditate, contemplate, and go within, because in the film The Mask, after Stanley would have a long day at work, he would go home and he would spend time with his dog, which I also feel like a lot of you have a dog who has helped you get through some really dark times. If you don't have a dog, it could be beneficial to get one, because dogs are very healing and they pick up on our energy, and they provide that unconditional love and help us learn more about what unconditional love is in the process, because they are so loyal. And it doesn't have to be a dog if you're a cat person. Cats would benefit you as well too. Whatever, any type of animal really. But trust your instincts at this time. Pay attention to cycles that are going on, and these lonely nights, this withdrawal, use that to your advantage to really get to know yourself, because you are an amazing person and you have amazing gifts to show to the world. So definitely take this time to get to know yourself on a more intimate level. Then we have death and balance. So the death card here, there is a major transformation wanting to take place in your life right now. And I can see that it is stemming from you coming into the awareness that there is something out of alignment in your life. That is why we have the balance card here. Spirit is saying, as you are going through this major transformation, this major change, what can you do to balance your life? What can you do to balance your emotions? Because in the movie The Mask, we have Stanley Ipkiss, who is underconfident, and then we have the version of himself, The Mask, who is overconfident. It is two different extremes. He was out of balance between what it was he really wanted. But as he learned to master his emotions throughout the film and learn that the mask, while that did help him learn about his self-worth, it still wasn't 100% who he really was. And he comes into the realization that he doesn't need the fancy mask to be who he really is. And he comes into more self-confidence with himself as he learned to balance those two traits, the ego self and the part of himself that did not have boundaries. So what can you do to balance your emotions this time? What can you do to balance your work life, your personal life? And how can you navigate this transformation that is wanting to leave that old version of you behind? What can you do to balance yourself more in the sense of letting go of those old stories, those old belief systems, and rise up into who you truly are, and to take off all the masks of how the world, you may be showing yourself to the world at this time. It's time to show the world the true you. And that's what this transformation is all about from the Death card. Then we have the Tower and Impatience. So yeah, what is going on right now with this transformation? It feels like a very big change, a very big crumbling of the old way of being. So it might feel chaotic because I'm being shown how the mask, he torpedoes around the apartment. It feels very chaotic. It's this big change that is taking place in your life right now. And Spirit is saying that one of the best things that you can do right now is to be patient during this process. Don't resist any change that is wanting to take place at this time. Anything that wants to fall away, let it fall away, and embrace yourself for who you truly are. You really don't need a mask to determine your self-worth. You are worthy, whole, complete, just as you are. And even on those days where you don't feel like you are, that is 100% okay as well, because your feelings are valid. But even when you don't feel like you're a 10 out of 10, you have always been a 10 out of 10, okay? You can choose what you believe. So as this tower moment is happening, as things are crumbling down, allow it. Let everything fall away that wants to fall away. And be patient with yourself as you are going through this tower moment, because you deserve to give yourself more credit. And the authentic version of you is wanting to rise up at this time. That's why it feels like everything is chaotic. So be patient and enjoy the journey. Thank you, pile number 3. Those are your messages. If it resonated, if you enjoyed the reading, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.